Howdy partners, coming to you here. I'm on the Enchantment of the Seas, and this is our third cruise, so I'm moving just above rookie level, right as far as cruising goes, and we've learned a few things along the way that we'd like to share with you in the video. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the cost of cruising. Growing up as a kid, I kind of thought this was something that was completely unattainable until you were much older and made tons of money, right? And it would cost an absolute fortune. It's the funny thing is the complete opposite is true. Whenever I added up compared to going to other places and just going to visit a city, and you include your accommodation, your food, this is actually probably as cost effective as you can possibly be. So really something that might be up a lot of people's alleys. I know a lot of folks might have thought the same thing that I did before we started going out on these and actually checking it out. But it's not even in the same ballpark. Like, you're actually going to probably save a ton of money because of the all-inclusive nature of the cruise, right? When you're adding up that hotel cost, when you're adding up the cost of going to maybe some of the ports that you're at, and the cost of your food, right, and beverages, all being included into that one flat fee, I think that you're going to love it, and it's definitely something you should check out. So the number two thing you need to know before you go on a Royal Caribbean cruise is how to most effectively get on the ship. Because you can wait in line for a very, very long time if you're not ready to go before getting on the ship. And I know, like, while you're waiting there in that terminal, you're gonna want to be getting ready to go and getting on the ship as quickly as possible. My mentality is the sooner that you get on, you don't pay more, you just start enjoying the cruise that much sooner, right? Getting that much more for your money and that much more bang for your buck. So whenever you are getting on the cruise ship, you got to know a few things. One is get the app, right? If you get the Royal Caribbean app, you're going to be able to check in right there on the app. You'll have your SeaPass and boarding cards right there on the app as well. So you can just absolutely blow through the line, right? And be ready to go. You won't get caught up. They won't have to print out anything for you. They'll just boop you in and you're on to the next checkpoint. So do get that app, right? Do remember your government issued identification. I would highly recommend here just bringing a passport if you can. It's gonna make your life very, very simple. You can just whip out that passport and you're absolutely good to go. If anything happens, right, it gives you all the power in that scenario to be prepared and ready to go. And the third thing is, go ahead if you'd like to and take your own luggage. We're getting a little bit better about packing and only taking really one suitcase now whenever we're going on trips. But if you can carry your luggage to your own stateroom, which isn't a huge deal, not only do you save on paying somebody to do that for you, right? But also you're gonna save a lot of time too, right? And you're gonna have all your possessions ready to go, and you're not looking and dropping it off and tagging it and everything. You're just walking straight up and going. Last tip, get there early. They'll ask you whenever you're doing your online check-in what time you're going to be checking in. Doesn't matter. Just show up as soon as you want. I'd recommend as early as they'll let you get on board because no one else will be there. If you're waiting until like a couple hours before the cruise actually and the ship leaves out of the dock, it's going to be packed and it's going to take a long time. I've experienced that before. That's not going to be your favorite part of your cruise. Just get in there early, do yourself that favor, and get on your way. So the number three thing you need to know about going on a Royal Caribbean cruise is the size of the ship does matter, but bigger isn't always necessarily better when it comes to ship. So we've been on a few different size ships now, going from some of the largest in the fleet, right, to the one that we're on today, which is a much more modest ship. And really what it is what are you looking for in your cruise vacation? Yes, the bigger ship will probably be a little bit newer, right, which is an advantage, and there will be more activities and things to do on board, right? So that is awesome if you'd like that. However, there will also be, byproduct, many more passengers, right, and much more activity. So if you're looking for a more relaxing vacation, I couldn't possibly recommend to you more going on a smaller size cruise ship. It's going to be a much more relaxed atmosphere, a lot less craziness going around, right? And you can just lay down and relax if that's what you're going for. We're talking about reading your book outside, whatever it is that you're looking forward to doing, right? But if you really want to like maximize all the different fantastic things on a cruise ship, go ahead and jump on that big cruise ship, right? And it's very easy to look up information on them so you can see what you may or may not like. But remember, bigger isn't always better whenever you're going on a cruise ship, but to know what you're looking for yourself and your family. And so the number 4 thing that you need to know is about room size and room location, which I cannot stress enough. So we've been going around, and every time we've been on a cruise, have gone with a different sized room, right? Everything from interior room, right, to port view room, and now on a junior suite room, which I'm sure is going to be a problem because I'm getting too spoiled, right, when I'm going up in room size. But what I do have to say is that while you're going up, it is going to cost more on a per stateroom basis, right? And you have to really decide what you want in your stateroom, because each time that I was on a cruise, I had an absolute ton of fun, right? And a lot of it, I guess, depends on what you're trying to do. If you're going for a more relaxing cruise, right, and you're going to be hanging out in your room, maybe getting a junior suite room, or a balcony room is for you. You can sit out on your own balcony, right? You can take in the sunrise, the sunset. You can get some air out there, have coffee and snacks or lunch out there on your own balcony, private, right? And you're not worrying about any people at all. If you're going on maybe a giant cruise ship and there's just non-stop tons of stuff to do, maybe you just get the basic accommodation, right? Because you're never going to be in your room, right? You're always going to be going around the ship, and your room is just for sleeping. And that's a motto that I like to say, is that hotel room, right, that you're staying in, I'm mostly just sleeping in it. Well, maybe you'll have the same thing in that case. And so you'll save a lot of money that way too. If you're never going to be in the room, no reason to pay for more room if you're just going there to sleep. So do know that. The most important thing I can say, though, irregardless of what kind of room that you pick, is that the location matters a lot. The first thing is, if you're a seasick kind of person, the ship doesn't move a ton, but you will feel it move occasionally. And if you're a seasick type of person, make sure your room is in the middle of the ship, because as the ship moves on the ends, that will get a lot more movement than in the middle, where it will be much more static, right? Also, the higher up you go, as far as which deck you're on, the ship will be moving more there as well. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Also, if you're over on a deck and your room is right underneath the club on the ship, you're going to hear feet pounding on top of you until like 3 a.m. So do watch out for that. Pay attention to what is on the deck immediately above you. Make sure that you're not losing a ton of sleep if that's what you're going for and you're not one of those people out at the club. And so the number 5 thing that I want to talk to you about is what is included in the cruise fare. So all that's included in your cruise fare is all you can eat style food at the Windjammer. It's dinner that's at a very nice luxury style every single night. It can be breakfast in the same dining hall, right? You get a table, waiter, very, very nice, right? You get your buffet, you get free drinks as far as tea, coffee, water, orange juice, apple juice goes as well. Also, almost all of the activities on board is more food than you could ever possibly hope to eat, and drinks to go along with it. You won't have to pay anything extra for any of that, right? And you'll come out weighing 7, 10, 15 pounds heavier, whatever it is that you like by the time you're done with the cruise vacation. So do be sure to take advantage of all of that. And so the number 6 thing that you need to know before coming on the Royal Caribbean ship is about the food and the drinks packages. There are 3 different levels of drinks packages, right? Going all the way from every single drink you can have on board, including alcoholic beverages, all the way down to you can have as well the coffee and soda package, and you can get all those kind of specialty drinks like the Starbucks on ship, right? And it's just a matter of how much you're going to have, because you can also pay for drinks on a per drink basis, right? And that they'll get you taken care of in that way, and you just add on your gratuity right there, or you can prepay it. Usually for most people it's better to prepay it before going on the ship for a planning purpose, and it also ends up being a little bit less expensive, unless you really know yourself and you're only going to have like a couple coffees, right, or a couple drinks while you're on the ship. Then that's totally up to you. But really it comes down to math, right? If you're going to be having more than however many it is relative to the cost per day per person in your stateroom, then go with it. Then if not, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Just pay for things on a case-by-case basis because you don't want to overpay right up front. I hear things going both ways relative to it, so that's up for you to decide. The food package is, I feel like, a little bit more straightforward for a lot of folks. If you're deciding that you're going to go to some of these specialty dinings, which can include your Chops Grill, right? It can include your sushi on deck. Then go ahead and get that food package ahead of time because you'll be able to get a discounted price as opposed to just walking up and going out to eat on your own, right? I haven't actually taken advantage of that too much. I'm always stuffed with all the enormous amount of food options here on the ship, but some people really enjoy it, and if you do, that might be the way to go. And so the number 7 thing that I'd like to talk to you today about is the key. And the key is this mysterious, almost code word sounding kind of thing, but what it is essentially it makes you a VIP on the ship, right? You're going to get priority boarding, where you can just walk straight on through this side lane and they get you taken care of super quick as part of the key program. You come on board, you get automatic dinner at Chops Grill right straight away. It's a welcoming dinner that you get to just walk on with your stuff and enjoy a nice home cooked meal. You get priority seating at all the events. They have a little roped off section actually at all the different events here on the ship, where you get to sit down before everybody else in a really nice section that they don't open up to the public until much later, so you can ensure good seating at different popular events on the ship, right? There are different activities, like on our ship, there were specific hours where only key members could go over to the rock climbing wall, so you can ensure that you're not waiting in any kind of line, and it's a little bit more secluded and nice as you're getting to tackle that rock climbing. Don't worry, we killed it. Also get priority disembarkment, right? Off the ship, you go on a separate line. You don't have to wait. You can just get off the ship at the port straight away. And then also additional complimentary breakfast on your disembarkment day for going back home, right? And they'll have a little bit of a separate thing. If you don't have the key program, typically whenever you're getting off the ship to go back home, right, they'll give you a very specific time that you're supposed to leave, and that can either be earlier or it can be later. Alrighty folks, and if y'all can't tell by seeing me here, my phone absolutely crashed and died on the rest of the cruise, right in the middle of what I was recording for you. It might actually be good news because the video was getting a little bit long in the tooth, and it might have been a good time to stop off anyways. Key program, just to finish it up, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was cool. It's still feels like it's in the beginning stages. There are some people on board who didn't seem to know what I was talking about, but there's still some cool stuff about it, you know, that makes you really feel like a VIP on your cruise vacation. So don't worry, in the future we're going to have a bunch more cruise videos for you. I'm going to continue going on these things. They're a ton of fun and really, really good value for the money. Looking forward to seeing you in some future videos. If you're liking what you're seeing, hit a like and subscribe and check out another video, and we'll see you on the next one.